Hi, it's me, Joan, from Joan's Designs and Creations. Come make a turtle with me today. I put some glitter on this turtle first, use the white diamond, and then I use the pink on the top part of the turtle. Now I'm just adding some ladybugs to the side of the turtle. I got this little turtle from the Dollar General that's in my local area. Decided to snazz it up a little bit and have some little fun with it. Those little buggers, those little ladybugs gave me trouble trying to add them to the side of my turtle. But then I got it under control and was able to add 5 on one side and then 5 on the other side. I tried to keep the same colors so that they would match pretty much, of course, but you always end up with that one that you don't have the same colors of. And I just dumped them out and started placing them on there. I thought they were so cute. I got these from Temu. Just looking for another white one and didn't find it, but I found an orange one. So that'll work in its place. But I just think these are so cute. They add another little creature to our little turtle. And I'm going to be putting a snail on top of it. So I find my little eyes that I'm going to use to add to the turtle. Just the eyes just bring things to life. I truly believe that. Had trouble at first trying to get a hold of that little eye, but then it worked out well. And it just when you add eyes to the animals and any kind of thing, it just brings them to life. Then I add a little, I'm going to add a little mouth to this turtle next. I didn't name them. Oh, wait a minute. I do add a bow first. Just like a little bow with pink and polka dots to bring that pink color in. It's a little darker than the one that's on there, so it's a nice contrast. Just making sure all my ribbons are the right direction. And then I'm going to add a little piece of super glue and then hold that there for a moment. And I have my little bow on my turtle. Next, I'm going to add to the middle some tacky glue. I'm going to spread that around and up the sides a little bit. And I'm going to put a piece of styrofoam that I cut to fit in there next to cover that hole. And I'm going to have a snail on top. So I'm going to next take a circle, and I measured it with one of my rhinestone containers, and it fit perfectly. So I'm going to cover that hole up to make it a little more sturdier whenever I add my next layer on top of the turtle. Add some super glue. Thought it was flush enough, but I needed a little more flush against there. So I just decided to add the the hot glue to the outside of the rim and around the circle, and then that covered that in nicely. And I had another one of those ladybugs fall off, so I fixed that with some hot glue. Next, I'm going to start on making my snail. And I just looked at a picture off the internet to come up with it. I haven't seen anybody make a snail yet. I know they're out there, but I haven't watched anybody make it, put it that way. So I do sort of like a teardrop shape, and then I turned up the head. And then I added some brown for the antennas. And those were a little bit of time consuming because they were so tiny to work with. And I'm sorry the picture's out of your view right now, but I will get it back in there. And I wasn't really happy with the way my antennas, or whatever they're called on the snail. I didn't know what they were called. They sure look like antennas. And then next I'm going to add little eyes to my snail head. And again, using the smaller eyes that fit the proportion right with the snail head. I'll do better on trying to keep my design inside the camera view better on my future videos. Just putting a little tiny ball on the end of that antenna as that that's how it appears on the photo that I was watching, looking at it as my inspiration. And I do them here, and then I end up redoing them before the final product. It is such a small thing to try and work with. So I have the base of the snail, and then now I'm going to use purple for the shell. Just going to work it a little bit, and then roll it into a snake. Roll it out thin enough so that whenever I roll it up, it'll come into that snail shape, and then at one end it's smaller and then it gets thicker as it goes through, because that's how the shell on the snail is. So when I get it to the length that I want and height, I cut that off and turn it into the shell. Then after I take it out and make sure it fits, then I will glue it on and put some toothpicks in there so that it stays in the place that I put it. Just break off those little thin sticks. They go in there nicely, and I wanted to make it in there deep enough so that it holds that shell into place until it's all dry and it stays nicely. I do end up redoing my purple again because after I started playing with it, I didn't like the way that it set on it. So I redid it and was happy with the second result. Now I'm going to take some white clay, just condition it a little bit, and I'm going to put an edge over top of that styrofoam piece that I put on there. And I'm going to use my circle cutter that I have gotten, and I like the ridges on the edges. And I thought that this is going to lay on there nicely. I put a nice thick piece so it didn't drip over the edge so you could still see the ladybugs. Just adding some tacky glue and adding that white piece on top of there. So there's a place for my snail to nest on. And then I add some more tacky glue. Brush that on with my brush. And then I'm going to put my snail on there. But I will put some toothpicks in there first so that it stays, since that is a pretty big piece there, that snail, to stay on the top. And this is whenever I wasn't happy with the way that it folded under as I placed it on there. So then I redid that before I have my finished product. But there is the final product. And thank you for joining me. Catch me next time. Bye.